This is Uneducated Sports Talk.
Hosted by me, Clayton. Let's go, y'all. Welcome all sports fans, YouTubers, Facebookers, all social media across the nation. This is Uneducated Sports Talk. I'm your host, Clayton. Also, check us out on Uneducated Network. Both channels on YouTube. Please remember to like and subscribe to both. Now that's out the way, we're going division by division. We're just about done. We're to the final NFC teams, the NFC West, where we have the Rams, the 49ers, Seahawks, and the Cardinals. Those guys are battling out. This division, I like to call a gut feeling division. The last two divisions we're talking about are pretty much gut feelings. You don't know what's really going to happen, but you got to go with your gut feeling. And that is what I'm doing with this division right here. A lot of changes going on with all four of these teams. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. The Rams reloaded big time. The Seahawks deloaded, that's the word. And Cardinals are trying to stay in there. And the 49ers, well, they got their quarterback in the future. So a lot of good things, a lot of crazy things happening for all four teams. Let's start off with the Seattle Seahawks. About those guys, they lost the whole entire roster pretty much. Richard Sherman is gone. Cam Chancellor retired because of injury. You got Michael Bennett, who's gone. You have Thomas Rawls, Eddie Lacy, the running backs. They're gone now. So they had to revamp. The only person basically for the Legion of Boom is left is Earl Thomas. And he's even asking about a trade or pay me situation. Now, the Seahawks haven't budged. They said, we're not going to pay you, but we're not going to trade you either. So a lot of things going on with that Seattle franchise. But you know one thing they have Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson, as long as you have him, I think good things will always happen to the Seahawks last year. They had a horrible year last year and still finished 9-7. See how that goes? If things get tweaked out, their offensive line. If things get tweaked out, their running game. If things get tweaked out, their defensive pressure now. So in the first round, you want to start the running game, they get Rashad Penny. And that right there, I didn't really like that pick. Their first pick in the draft, and they went up and got Rashad Penny like he was just the best running backs in sliced bread. I didn't really get that pick. He's a big back, who's very nimble, but he had a lot of carries. But you have bigger needs on your team. You have defensive lineman play that you really, really needed, and you should have got offensive linemen needed work on there tremendously for a running game to work. And also in the fifth round, they get Shaquem Griffin, who is the twin brother Shaquille Griffin. Also is missing, a hand, but he has been balling lights out. And they're saying that he's basically going to be the starter for the season due to injury to the other linebackers are gone. So he's going to be there starting. He is a 4-3 type of hybrid linebacker / strong safety kind of guy. I'm very excited to see him play with the Seattle Seahawks. But Rashad Penny, who's coming off of basically a pinky injury or some kind of injury like that, he's having a cast to put on his arm, but it's actually coming off tomorrow, Wednesday. So now they have Carson, who is their running back, and he's going to be the one who's going to take over. I saw them in preseason, and the revamped offensive line with Carson looked very well. With Russell Wilson calling shots as well. Doug Baldwin has a knee injury that might last the whole entire year, but he said he's going to manage it. I don't like the way that sounds, but you know what? He's going to manage it. Now, I did say gut feeling. Now, I've talked a lot of negative about the Seattle Seahawks. I know one positive is Russell Wilson. And things went rock bottom for those guys last year. They still finished 9-7. I think these guys still win the division at 10-6. They will win the division. And you're like, whoa, 10-6 wins the division when you have that Los Angeles Rams team who just looked very good last year. Well, let's get on with those guys. The Los Angeles Rams, who were kings of the NFC West last year, wound up getting beat down against the Atlanta Falcons. But, not necessarily beat down, but man, they look bad. Everyone saw the Los Angeles Rams. They all saw that they were playing on not a first place schedule. They were playing on basically a third place schedule. And now that they've won the division, and we all saw how Atlanta beat those in the playoffs, that's the Rams team I see. Now, that did cause for them to regroup and re-energize themselves with players. So, you add Ndamukong Suh, give him a big contract. You re-sign Aaron Donald. Those two are going to be the best defense tackles in the game. You put them in the same team, that is scary. Marcus Peters is also going to be went to them as well from Kansas City, and you get Keith Talib. So they got a lot of guys. Oh, and by the way, to get Brandon Cooks to add more to their offense. But I saw that playoff game against the Atlanta Falcons. I saw it, and they're at home, and they had all the momentum going into the game, and the Falcons weren't really a really great team, and that Atlanta put it on them, and Los Angeles looked scared. And yes, you had those couple pieces in there, but they were part of that last year's team. Hell, Ndamukong Suh was one of the best defensive tackles in the game, and the Miami Dolphins had one of the worst run defenses with him there. So things aren't just because they look good on paper doesn't mean it's going to come out. Another gut feeling. I have a gut feeling the Rams are not going to be who we thought they were or who we thought they're going to be. I have a feeling that they're going to regress this year, excuse me. And I think that they actually go 9-7 and have a chance to fight for the wild card spot. But I don't see this team having back-to-back years of that great, offense. And because look, they have a first place schedule, so you're going to play the Saints, you're playing the Vikings, you're playing the Eagles, and then you got to play against the NFC West, who has gone better now. The Seahawks will probably be a little better. 49ers a little better. We'll talk about the Cardinals in just a minute, but I had the Rams going 9-7, a game below the Seattle Seahawks. Let's talk about everyone's favorite team to talk about, the San Francisco 49ers. We all know that they got Jimmy Gurappolo last year and went 5-0 after he started. And look, they're going to run on all cylinders in this offseason, which they did. They kind of got Pierre Garçon back, back healthy, a healthy Pierre Garçon. You get Mike McGlinchey, offensive tackle from Notre Dame. You get him, and then you also get Dante Pettis, wide receiver from Washington, in the second round. So they're kind of revamped up. Jimmy Gurappolo had a good year, 7 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, 15 yards passing, only about 5 games really playing. So I'm excited to see what they're going to bring this year, but their defense still scares me, and the fact that their defense scares me, their O-line isn't the best O-line, and it's not like they have a ton of great things to throw at you. Oh, by the way, you get an injury to McKinnon, who's out for the season with a knee injury, torn ACL, so he is out. That hurts you right there. So you have Matt Breida, and then you also have Alfred Morris, who's going to be your backs. Those aren't the two best guys to rely on for a running game, but we shall see. Because Jericho's going to have a big part of that team. He can run between the tackles and he can catch out the backfield. So he's basically a 3-down back. But now you're going to rely on guys that you didn't think you were going to rely on too heavily. So that puts a dent in the San Francisco 49ers run game. So a lot of them go on Jimmy Garoppolo's shoulders. Can he do that? It's a proven season. We saw a little glimpse last year, but what about this year? We're going to find out for sure about that. I have those guys going 8-8. Look, improvement from last year, and this is one of the rising up teams, the San Francisco 49ers. They're basically going to rise up as years go by. But right now, I think 8-8 is a great improvement. I can care less what people think about Jimmy Garoppolo. He is going to be a good quarterback, but they're thinking that he's going to be, Tom Brady just like that, or he's going to be Drew Brees like that. It's going to take a while. He's good, but he's not great yet. But I think one day he will be, just not this year. The 49ers go 8-8, just missing out on a wild card place. And the last team, the Arizona Cardinals. These guys, a lot of changes as well. Sam Bradford has come in. They paid the man $20 million. He'll probably play 3 or 4 games. Let's just be honest. Bruce Arians retires, so their offense, he's an offensive guy. They bring in a defensive guy, and Steve Wilkes, who's the defensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers. You bring him in, you bring a defensive mentality, but you lose Tyrann Mathieu to the Houston Texans, and you got to kind of reshape your whole entire offense and reshape your defense as well. And here we go. First round pick, Josh Rosen. The Cardinals go up to get him, quarterback from UCLA. He did say that eventually the teams that pass him up who need the quarterbacks, they will pay. But we saw him in preseason. He did not look good. And oh, by the way, he's injury prone and suffered an injury during training camp, preseason, whatever you want to call it. And he's not going to be the starter. He was competition. But Sam Bradford is there for a reason. You pay the man $20 million, not to sit on your bench, but to actually play a few games to see if you can give Josh Rosen more time to develop before he goes thrown out there. Josh Rosen was probably the most ready rookie quarterback of this draft class to play, but still seeing him, because he played in pro offense his whole entire career in college, but now to see him in Arizona, It's going to be tough. David Johnson does come back, though, so he's a fantasy go-getter. So, going to be happy to see him. He looks relatively healthy, but with the new offensive changes going on, Larry Fitzgerald, who has just been Mr. Reliable, still to this day, is going to get his touches, but we're going to find out more and more what's going on. I do like that Wilkes brings a defensive personality. They play more zone coverage, and that's going to help out Patrick Peterson, who's going to really show his skill set now, his playmaking skill set, because he is just that good. So I'm very interested to see what goes on. I have the Cardinals going 6-10, which is a downgrade from last year, but I think they're in the process of changing things around. They're another team that's kind of up and coming. If they can just find a few more key defensive players, they'll be okay. Offense is going to be all right as well, as long as David Johnson is healthy. I like those guys. So a quick recap: the Seattle Seahawks go 10-6 to win the division. The Los Angeles Rams go 9-7, maybe borderline wild card. We'll find out. The 49ers are 8-8, and I have the Arizona Cardinals going 6-10. So please leave a like and a comment down below. Who do you think will win the NFC West? Is it the Seahawks? Are the Rams going to continue dominating? Or the Cardinals and the 49ers, but one of them surprise everyone? I want to hear your comments down below. So my name is Clayton. This is Uneducated Sports Talk. And check us out on the Uneducated Network as well. Please stay tuned for the next series. We will wrap it up with the AFC West. And then I'll give you my fantasy talk. And we have all kinds of things going on with Uneducated Sports Talk. We have fantasy talk going on. We have college football talk. We'll talk about that going down. And also, I'll give you my pick'ems for week 1 of the NFL, which is right around the corner. It's in 2 more days with the Atlanta Falcons visiting Lincoln Financial Stadium to play the Philadelphia Eagles, defending Super Bowl champions. So with that being said, guys, my name is Clayton. All sports fans, you guys know what time it is. Stay smart, stay uneducated. Peace. And I got to get up to do this.